Hi everyone and welcome back to Macaroon. This video is all about the new trend of making pimples using glue and paper. The DIY is so simple that it doesn't really need a tutorial, but I still have a few tips and tricks on how you can make this work perfectly. The goal is to get a wonderfully satisfying squeeze like this. I'll show you how to get around the two most common problems when making paper pimples. The first is when the glue doesn't come out at all, and the second one is when it comes out too quickly and rips the paper. To get started, you'll need some basic school supplies. Please use common sense when it comes to this DIY, and don't make it anywhere where you could get in trouble. I found these gold and pink glue sticks in a discount shop and thought they would look great for this tutorial. You'll need a piece of paper about the size of this notebook sheet. Push up a section of the glue stick and then chop it off with a ruler. For the next part, I'm going to use plastic wrap, but you can also improvise with a plastic folder or tissue. Place it over the glue and just smush it up with your finger. You want to get it into a nice smooth consistency that's easy to squeeze out. You can also mash it up with the edge of a ruler, but I found that using your fingers works best because your body heat melts the glue very quickly. Place the blob of glue onto the upper part of the paper and start folding it up. The second trick to making these paper pimples is to make sure you double wrap it. If you're using a typical sheet of thin note paper like this, then it's going to rip easily. So the side where the glue is going to be squeezed out should be covered with 2 layers. Then wrap the ends together and squeeze it a bit so it almost looks like a cushion or volcano shape. I'm going to use the pointy end of a compass to make the hole, but a sharp pencil works just as well. Once you've made the hole, rotate it a bit so the opening is about 2 millimeters wide. When I was making these, I noticed that if the hole is too small, then it's not very satisfying to squeeze the glue out, and if it's too big, then the paper is more likely to rip. Now you can enjoy your own DIY paper pimple. The great thing about this is that you can reuse the glue a number of times. Simply open up the paper and scrape out whatever is still inside. A lot of comments mention that this DIY is a waste of material, but I find there's nothing wrong with it at all as long as you're using your own glue sticks, of course. You can easily say the same thing about slime when people started using bottles and bottles of glue all at the same time. However, by now it's completely normal to see liquid glue as an ingredient for slime, and the same applies to these glue sticks being used as the filling for paper fidgets. Plus, there's so many cool versions of glue sticks, like this glittery pink one, that it's almost a shame to just use them for sticking stuff. For this final demonstration, I'm showing you how versatile this DIY is. Another method is to wrap the glue in plastic wrap and then soften it in your hands. This is super fun to do and it feels almost like a squishy. This time I'm using post-it notes and I'm going to go with 2 sheets because this paper feels fairly thin. I'm carefully transferring the glue from the plastic wrap onto the post-it note. Then I'm poking the hole with a pencil and you can see that this method also works great. This squeeze was so satisfying and it even held its shape afterwards. I've also seen comments where people say they make paper pimples using lip balm or lotion, so feel free to experiment. I hope you enjoyed this DIY, even though it's pretty simple. A final tip is to use more glue inside the paper. To get a really satisfying squish like this, you'll need to have enough material inside in the first place. Since you can reuse most of it, don't be afraid to make bigger squishies that look almost like cushions. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!